So, it's pretty simple. You have your sequencer here. You can turn the pitches here, you can turn the steps on and off. You have the tempo here. Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Modular Stories. In this podcast, I would like to create a platform for people to share themselves, their stories, their experiences, and their life lessons. Before each episode, the guest can build and patch their own background music with the help of my modular synth. My goal with this podcast is to inspire the listeners, spark their creativity, and to share these incredible people I get to talk to with the world. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, all right, everybody. Hey, and welcome to the first ever episode of Modular Stories, a podcast that I'm doing. And today I have Jasper here with me. He's a friend of mine and an amazing bassist who is also at Artes right now. And yeah, we just want to talk a bit about you and about who you are and what you're doing and what makes you the amazing person that you are.
Oh, well, yeah, thank you, first of all, for having me. It's quite an honor.
It's an honor.
Yes, yeah. So, yes, I'm Jasper. I'm studying also at Artes, and I'm first year bassist. So, I'm quite obsessed with music, of course, but also with art in general and everything that belongs to that.
Nice. How did you start with this? How did you come up with like doing music yourself, or what inspired you to go into music?
I think I listened to music from like the first moments I can remember that I was conscious. I was one of those children that always sang to everything. So my brothers hated it. I loved it. Yeah, it was like quite an interesting childhood in that way, because also my parents have a lot of musical influence on me. I listen to a lot of independent music, wave music from London, but also like more modern independent rock. So I come from rock, but also world music and more like independent reggae based stuff as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think there were the roots, because I always listened to music, but I never did it actually. I don't know what kept me from doing it, but I think I had a guitar once, but it was more like a accessoire somewhere in the corner. But I always sang, so I think that was the start. And then finally, I bought my own bass in the age of, I think, 18. And
Wow.
yeah, that was quite late. But it took a while since I really picked it up and also started practicing and wanted to do music. I think it really started when I moved together in like a really nice living situation with my best friends, which was like an immensely influential time on me, and like it was so much fun. And we all made music in that time. So I started making music with my best friends before, and then when we lived together, we did it on a daily basis. So
that's really, really cool.
Yeah, we jammed, and it was very free. It was never a lot of pressure or like big expectations.
Yeah.
It was just very pure in a way. Yes.
Yeah, that's so cool. Did you ever have any lessons then on bass, or did your friends teach you how to do it, or did you just teach yourself, or how did that work for you when you lived together and just jammed? How did you get better at bass and improve yourself?
I think the start was very just me with the instrument and I don't know, Spotify, I guess. Like just playing with music.
Nice.
That I loved. And then when I started to jam with my friends, I got a little bit more ambitious, and I also wanted to get better quite fast. So then I decided to take a teacher and also go to music school, get a little bit of theory, all that. And I did that for, I think, 2.5 years. I took lessons, and then I decided to study it.
Yeah, that's a really nice development also, to just start with your friends and then developing and becoming or getting that urge and feeling that, oh, I want to do this more.
Exactly.
I want to do this, and that's all I want to do. That's really inspiring, I feel like, and it's a really nice story.
Yeah, it's actually like this urge really that developed, that was quite intense. Like, it became really a main purpose in my life at that time, and I think it was the same for my friends. So that was also very nice to have this passion, like, shared with the people close around you.
No, it just comes together then, and if everybody has the same passion, it feels like it's just grows together, and it's one big thing of just pure passion and urge. And
exactly.
I think that must have been beautiful times, just sitting together and jamming together.
Yeah, and it was funny because we were like a band, and at a certain point we just said, okay, well, you can play drums, I can play bass, you can play guitar, let's just try it. And we, of course, we covered.
Yeah.
But we never had like a real singer, because I was very busy with playing bass, and we didn't have someone else. So what we did was just jamming, and I remember one night there was like a power cut, like in our street.
God.
And we were jamming in the living room, but then it was dark, and we were like, okay, we can't jam here, so let's go outside on the street. And we did that, like, in the middle of the evening, like it was almost dark, and we just sat down there, and we just thought, man, we're gonna do some music now. And we did it. And funny enough, like a young lady walked by, and she was asking if she can listen, and then she was saying, well, I can also sing, and she sang. And we were like, what the heck, this voice is immensely good. And in that way we met our singer.
That's like the coolest story ever.
Yes.
How to meet your singer.
So in the start she was just called like, her name is Valentina, and we just called her Valentina Power Cut, because she was just...
And then she also got her stage name quite fast.
Yes, Power Cut.
Power Cut.
Yeah, no, that was really interesting, yes. And so we started playing with that band, and then I started to want to do more music, so I joined different bands and did also some independent, more original rock music. That was also quite cool.
So then you also started writing your own songs, or did you have like a songwriter in the band, or did everybody write together, or how was that process once you went off of doing just covers but also sharing your own voice?
I think it's very depending on with who you work. Sometimes you have someone in the band who's really who has a vision and just comes with ideas, and you then of course take your part in that vision, but it's not your vision, so it's like you joining the vision. But sometimes that can also happen with a band, and that is a quite magical process when you jam, and out of a jam there's getting something born when you all feel it. And then you know, okay, we're gonna ride on this together, and like it's the vision of everyone. So you have both, and I think both is quite nice, but it's very different for the musician.
Yeah,
to
for
take
sure.
part in it. Yes.
I mean, that's also how kind of we wrote our first song together.
Exactly.
Where we just jammed together in like a band session, because for music school we had to write a song and had to make like a 10-15 minute performance in like 4 days, and so we just started it. I think it was your idea to just jam out and to see what happens, and we played for hours, like 2 hours or something before we had something, and then it was just like, okay, let's work with that.
Let's do this. Yes.
We wrote the song basically in the first evening with more or less, and we had our singer Natasha who already had lyrics, and it was also really magical. I feel like it was quite fun, and the song turned out really fun to play and really fun to listen to as well with the audience.
Yeah, that's really unique, right? Yeah, that this can happen. Yeah, but when it happens, you all know that is something
Yes,
special, right?
yes, yeah. These are the moments where you just like it just get struck all together, and I feel like these are also the moments where you really feel together as a band.
Yeah.
When you just everybody has this feeling like, okay, yeah, that's it, and that's also when you feel, or when you, at least from my experience, know that the band is working.
Yes.
Is if you feel more than just one person telling everybody else like do this, do that, let's do that. But if everybody just out of their own taste and opinion does the same thing, that's really like a great setting for a band.
Yes. And I think it is also very important to, if you have something, to really pursue it, like to follow like this spark that it enlights in that idea. Yeah. Because I think one of my favorite producers, Bonobo, once said, like you can never expect that feeling that you have with a working process to stay when you just make a break or you just say, okay, I put it beside. And I think it's the same with songwriting. If you really have the feeling, okay, now it's flowing, then you should never like just drop it and say, okay, we can pick it up later, because you never know if the magic is not gone then.
Yeah, that's true. That's really nice.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, also good advice for everybody. Yes. I know that when sometimes I just feel like I have no idea. I'm sitting in front of this track and nothing is happening, and then you just open another session, another song, and then you get into the flow and you work for hours and just stuff happens, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's good to keep that and to stay with that, I don't know, like instinct in a way.
Yes, definitely.
And that's so cool.
Yeah.
But actually, let's maybe get back to the real beginning, because I still want to talk with you about your living situation that you described, because I know the story, but I want everybody to know, because it's really, really cool and really unique and really funny.
Yeah, it was actually like in Germany we have like this end phase of education, which is called Abitur. So it's something like graduating, like the final year. And in the middle of that process, we were hanging out a lot, had a lot of fun. And I think the dad of one of the guys who also later joined, he had like this empty apartment, quite huge, like 160 square meters. But it was not renovated, so it was quite old. And I think it needed a lot of love and work. So he couldn't rent it yet because there were also no heaters in it. So it was all like very cold. But he said, guys, you wanna move out, right? You wanna be independent. So you can have this apartment, which are like 160 square meters, but you have to renovate it. But like on the other side, you don't have to pay rent for one full year. Like, and that was a lot of money we saved with that. For sure. So there was no doubt. We said, yes, we're gonna do it. We're gonna move in, and we put in the work, and we did it. Yeah. We met after school from time to time while graduating. Like, it was more important for us than school at that point. Just to make like this dream come true, because I mean, that is just a dream, living with you.
No, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, best friends. And we did it, and we put in, I think, in the end, that was funny. Like, I moved in with my best friend first, so we just were like the two of us, and like the whole apartment was still a mess. We had like only a bathtub and a toilet, and I think we had like a electric heater on the floor, like on the ground, so we could cook on it. Oh god! Because we didn't have a kitchen as well, that was really adventurous. And also like our dishes, we did in a bathtub, and like we did everything in a bathtub. Like bathtub was life in that moment. Like we got our water from the bathtub, we showered in it, like everything. Yeah, and. So yeah, we moved in together, and then like another friend, he moved also in, and we did our graduation in that time, which was really nice, because it was really a feeling of independence, like first time you really this is my own space. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Freedom. Yes, and so we built it up, and I think in the end we needed like 2 years to finish everything, like except maybe some minor things, but also a friend of us, like who also moved in, Finn is his name, he just built a kitchen out of wood.
Wow.
And, yeah, he said in the beginning, like, yeah, give me 1 month, Sky, I do it.
That's impressive.
And it took 1.5 years, but
almost.
But he was very optimistic.
He did it in the end. So
Yes.
timing is.
It was great. It was a nice kitchen. It was original, right? Like completely unique.
Yeah, that's so cool. I didn't know that about the kitchen that he built it in.
Yes.
Yeah, I visited the place once. We had a party at your place once you, like the month everybody moved out, right? It was like the final party. It was
a final party.
That was also sad, but it was a great place. Like what you guys did out of it is incredible. I feel like.
Yes.
Now he rents it out to other people, or
I think now he's renovating it for real. Like.
Oh, okay. But you gave him the starting point.
Yes.
Nice.
Like I think there were some ideas about finances and that it was more worth it to do it later. And so now he's really making something out of the place. But before that, like this was just our space, and it was great. And I think we had like I think a beautiful time there. And the funny thing, and also like it's a life lesson in a way, because at a certain point we became family because we were friends for half our year before. Like all of these guys I know since I'm 10, so like from childhood on. And but at a certain point you feel like even though we family, still living together can be a little bit stressful from time to time. So it was a great timing that we all had, like after Corona, like after 2 years of only being and seeing each other and being with each other. It was a quite nice time for us to say, okay, now we move on. Now we had like 3 years of us, and now we want to become more ourselves again, like but everyone for themselves, like in a unique way. And so I decided to study here, so I moved out, and like everyone else was also like, okay, that's the moment to go. So it was actually the time where it still was really nice that we decided to move out. And it's something that is like really for me a life lesson to also, if something feels very good in the moment, to leave it behind. That makes it even more special in the moment. Just to leave when it feels the best also creates the nicest memories. So yeah,
for sure.
I feel very grateful for that time.
No, I can imagine. It's really something unique and special. I feel like I've never heard something like that, and it's also so funny to me because it feels like the thing you always want to do when you're a kid. You always want to have your own space and just live with your friends and no parents, no anything. But in a way, you did it at a time where you were probably going to move out anyways from your home and from your family. So it's that childhood dream that still made everybody of you more mature and maturing together. But that's so cool that you have your childhood dream, but in a time where you're like maturing and becoming like a grown up as much as we can be grown ups together with just your friends. And
it's like being in a safe zone, but being very aware of the process that now you became more mature and more an adult. So we also spend a lot of time just thinking about the challenges of life and all this philosophy around living and being a human, which is really interesting because we all agreed on many points. So it was a very constructive way to also mentally grow together. But it was also, of course, in a kind of a bubble, right? Because especially through Corona and all that like isolation process, we only literally were around each other. So like we had like this 4 or 5 minds and revolving like around each other. Like that was quite an interesting process as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But also like, I mean, we used the time to get also like a band cellar, and then we just made a lot of music there, and of course our neighbors hated that. Like,
yeah, who doesn't?
Yes, we like in the middle of a conservative small village, just like a VG, like a shared living situation, with like those guys who always make music, and like always someone was drumming. Also, like I mean, we didn't have one drummer, we had like 2 drummers, so it was always, you hear like banging from the cellar.
Yeah, but that's also really funny to have people who have the same mindset and who have the same passion there. That I feel that as well now, because I live together with like other composers and we all study the same, but you get so much out of each other still, of just the different personalities, and that's so cool. And when you have like 4 or 5 guys who are just, I mean, that would have been like a beautiful experiment to just have you 4 and see how you are before COVID and after COVID, with like 2 years of like just having you guys together in a bubble and making music, and how you came out there. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, and I feel very positive about that whole like effect that it had on us, and I think we grew a lot as well. Yes. So there was actually no better way to like spend the time while COVID.
Yeah, for sure. That's just drumming together in a basement. Sounds like a pretty good way of spending COVID.
Yes. And also, like, we had drums, but we also had like djembe, bongos. So it was like a whole rhythm, like ensemble in our cellar. Yeah, they really hated us.
Yeah, I can imagine, but I think that's a good sign for a musician if all the neighbors hate him.
Yes.
I think that really speaks to the passion and to the commitment you have for what you do.
Yeah, true.
And how does it feel now for you that you moved out and that you are somewhere else, even in another country, studying on your own more-ish compared to before?
Yeah, I think it was quite a process to get like loose from all this. Like from this time, leaving it behind. But I think the things that remained from it were only the positive things. So I feel very energized when I came here, and had a lot of positive energy and inspiration and motivation to do the things I wanted to do here. So for me it was just a very positive change, even though I left something very positive behind.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't know. For me, it really felt like I could take like the good things with me and use them to grow here even more.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you said, it was also for you to be more of yourself again, and to improve your individuality and yourself as a person, to grow without the rest around you and without the same people. I mean, if you see them as like a second family, then going away from your family again is just another move out and another growing up and packing your things and just saying, okay, now it's me time.
Exactly, yes.
And do what I want to do.
And that was also a really nice process to really like enjoy the alone time again. Because, I mean, if you're around your best friends like that intensely, then at a certain point you just also are so used to be around them that you don't take like the situations, or don't appreciate the situations where you are alone, because you're craving for what you're comfortable with. That's in that period being around them. So it's also, you get a little dependency on other persons as well. So that was also nice to now get comfortable again with being on your own, and like also in a mental way, like the thought process of being with only your thoughts and your music, and that is very enjoyable, I think, if you like appreciate like that aspect of life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And also funny thing, to come back to that time, which I really enjoyed musically scene, we all were really into Ableton, so we all had Ableton. And Ableton is like a playground, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we were bored and we just wanted to do more music, we just started to do challenges.
Oh.
And that was really interesting that time. Like we said, like, I don't know, let's create a track that represents the desert. And then everyone had like 1 week time, and we just went into our rooms and we just did stuff and tried to come up with ideas, and then we compared and had like a presentation at the end.
Oh, but that's so cool.
Yeah, that
is so awesome. I want to live with you guys. That sounds so dope to just do that.
Yeah, that was great.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
To have these people around you with the same passion and just, growing together in that.
Yes.
So nice.
But I think the same goes for artists, right?
Yeah.
You have like
for sure
amazing people around you, like in all with like their different ideas and beliefs and identities, and just to meet and create something unique that is only happening if like those two individuals meet each other. That is also very nice.
Yeah. And I feel like, for me at least, especially now in our chest, there's so many different like departments. We have like music, but also composition, which is a bit different, but still kind of the same thing with like composition and jazz and pop. We have the performers, but also the writers, basically. We have creative writing. We have different designers and a dance department. So everywhere is just like different approaches to this art.
Yeah.
But I feel like I learned a lot from seeing all these different departments and from working together with different personalities and different people, which can be also really inspiring to see, okay, how does a dancer approach this new challenge of, okay, we have this temp and we were supposed to do a performance on it, you know?
Yeah.
How do they work? What do they think? What do they put their emphasis on?
Yeah.
And that I learned a lot from that already in this first year that we had. We're just like so many different approaches and so many different mindsets on art and how to do anything, basically.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And it's like just a matter of how to express it, and everyone has really like their own way. And I think some are more like into the technical component of just how to execute the art, but some are also very philosophical and think more about how to express themselves. And I also like that diversity in approaches.
Yeah. And I think there you can also really much just help each other and grow together.
Yeah.
To have people who have that mindset of like, okay, I just want to express myself, and you have other people who can technically help to express that.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Artes as well, is that you have all these people that just want to do something. Everybody wants to do art and to create and to be there and to experience together. So wherever you're going, you feel this energy, and I feel that's really beautiful and really unique for a university where just teenagers being, or like not teenagers anymore, but like young adults being just stressed out and having to do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
And then that way it is very similar to what I experienced in my living situation back then. Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what are you up to now? What is the plans? What are you doing now? What is coming?
Yeah, that is of course a big question. Like future is has many options available and open. But for me, I definitely want to study more music, and I'm very interested in world music and different cultures and new perspectives on life. Because I think this is still the thing that I want to figure out the most, is what it means to live, right? I mean, for everyone there's a different answer, but
of course,
I think for me it makes sense to see as many perspectives on that question, or in general, like on life, and it gives very much meaning to what we're doing here, like as artists, but also as human beings. And yeah, to get a little bit more precise, I think I'm gonna do a lot of world music, try to get, of course, better in bass playing, but also expressing my art. So take time for that as well, but also grow as a bassist or as a percussionist as well, or a singer. Like there are many things I want to try out.
Yeah, a lot to improve on it, a lot to work on.
Definitely, like infinite.
Yeah,
improvement possible.
Of course, always. But I think that's beautiful as well, to have that mindset of always improving and always evolving and just growing as a human being and as an artist. I feel like that's all we can do. And
exactly. And the funny thing is that if you think about people when they say, that's a thought I thought about a lot lately. When they say, I want to find myself, mostly they're referring to finding back who they were in the beginning of like this whole process, childhood. Like the things that makes us really who we are, the core of our identity. And interestingly, I think it is very interesting that when you come back to like this home, maybe you searching for, when you say you want to find yourself, that is a very comfortable place with a lot of, as I said, like aspects of the past, I guess, like what you were before. But every time you stepping out of this comfort zone and detach from it, and you're getting lost, maybe. People say, oh, I'm so lost right now. Maybe that's exactly what it means to get really far from who you were before, and experiencing a lot and taking a lot of new experiences just with you. And when you then come back like to this home place, then it fuses like those new experiences, but also who you were. And I think this is the growing process that can be very strong if you really feel it as that, I guess. So getting lost as something that is not really not something bad, you know, like it's a part of the process of life.
For sure.
And then finding back to who you are, and that is like an infinite circle of growth.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get out of your comfort zone to do that, and to grow, to find out new things. And I think it's important to try to stay who you are in that, and try to not to get lost in it, but to feel what it does to you.
Yeah.
To feel that, okay, I need to do this now, and it might be scary, but it will help me, and it will be who I am in a bit. It will come to me, but just because it's not right now, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing.
Yeah. It's also a little bit about like enjoying the process at all time, even though it's not enjoyable in that moment. But to know, it's a little bit like a surfer mentality in a way, like knowing that the next wave is coming, right? Even though it might be hard and it's a rainy day, or man, just the waves are not there, but one day they will come again, and you know they will come for sure. So it's just about like being ready and being optimistic about the next opportunities to learn and grow and find maybe yourself again, or getting lost again. What it is that you need to do right now. If you very feel like, oh, I'm very myself, maybe you have to get lost. And if you feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, maybe you have to find yourself again.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Great thought.
Yes. Yeah, I love that thought.
No, it's beautiful. I've never thought about it that way, but it's really powerful.
Yes.
It gives hope as well, to me at least, because I have these moments where I feel lost, or I'm like, man, I don't know what I did or what I'm doing right now. I know, who am I again, and what's happening. But to have this comfort in just trusting yourself there, and to be like, it doesn't matter where I am right now, I will find back to me, but I have to stay in the moment, and I have to stay present to experience that and to fully regain myself later on through these experiences that I'm having right now is incredible.
Yes. And I think it's a little bit the same with art in a way, right? So, I mean, we all have like a very unique style in expressing our art, and I think it's very, very nice to nourish that and to grow in that. But it's also important for this growing process to really get like lost again and, I don't know, do everything that is out of your comfort zone just to get back to who you are, and then with that new experiences are able to build up your identity even more, I think. And that goes probably for everything if you just see it right away.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm just like on a different cloud right now. That's like a nice thought. I have to keep that.
Yes.
And maybe that's even a good point to end this on this incredible thought, because I feel like that's something that everybody can relate to and might have to think about. And
yeah, me for sure.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna think about that for the next weeks. That's gonna stick, man. Thank you so much for this. It was beautiful, and yeah, thank you so much for being here and for sharing yourself with us and for us to get to know each other.
Yes.
And I've learned a lot about you, and thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me and this great opportunity to just express what we're feeling. Yeah, it's nice.
Nice, man. Thank you.